There's something therapeutic about opening that catch-all closet and getting rid of half the contents. I'm Ronnie, and you're listening to Clean With Me, the podcast where I walk you through cleaning your house step by step. Thanks for joining me. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about what to do when you feel overwhelmed. I've had so many requests from financial supporters and people who give 5-star reviews, and it's taking me a while to fulfill those requests, but I do try to add your requests to my list. It's time to gear up for a little mini cleaning session. This is going to be a short episode. I'm going to get you started on some housework while answering the question about what you should do when you feel overwhelmed. And I'm pretty much an expert on feeling overwhelmed, but I think everybody feels overwhelmed a lot of the time. Life's hard. It's just the way it is. Maybe there's something you need to do to quickly gear up for your cleaning session. Getting yourself presentable is important when you feel overwhelmed. So you want to put on something comfortable, something that you feel good in, and then do your minimums. Whether that's putting your hair up or spraying it with a styling product or water bottle to get rid of that bed head. Wash your face, maybe put on some mascara if that's your thing. Whatever it is that makes you feel ready for the day, do that little thing. For some of you, it might be putting shoes on or just getting out of your pajamas. And then once you're ready for the day, pause the episode if you need more time, of course. But once you're ready, you want to get your house smelling good, okay? You want to take the trash out and reline it. I often gather up the waste baskets from around the house, dump them into that larger kitchen waste basket, and then take that bag outside. I also like to run the garbage disposal, and weather permitting, open some windows and get some fresh air circulating through the house. And sometimes letting in some light can kind of energize you. If your front room is a mess, but you want to let some air and light in, you could open the window and then tilt your blinds upward so that the light comes in, but people can't see what's on the couches or the floor. I don't know when you're listening to this, or where you are, but it might be too hot or too cold to open the windows. In that case, you might want to start a wax warmer or an essential oil diffuser, or light a scented candle. A lot of people light a candle after cleaning as a finishing touch, but why not enjoy the scent of that candle while you're working? Okay, hopefully you've done whatever you needed to do to gear up for your cleaning session. One of the things I do when feeling overwhelmed is get my machines running, because if I have a lot of housework to do, I want my house working for me. While I'm working, I want to manage my time efficiently and accomplish a lot in a short time to crawl out of that hole of feeling overwhelmed with my house. By machines, I'm talking about the washer, possibly the dryer, and possibly the dishwasher if you have a dishwasher. I realize some of you wash by hand, but most of you have a washing machine, so that's going to be the first machine you want to get running. Now, are you more overwhelmed about the fact that you haven't washed your bedding in a while? Or are you running out of towels, underwear, someone's uniform, or just cute outfits for you to wear? Start a load of laundry, whether it's bedding, towels and underwear, or something else. Whatever is most pressing at the moment. Start that load. And if you're in a state of overwhelm, it's possible that you haven't been home much, or you've been busy with something else and you've been forgetful. So maybe when you opened the washing machine, there was a forgotten load of laundry in there. Relax, add some detergent, a little bit of white vinegar, and rewash that load. It's a bummer, but it'll be okay. And then set a timer on your phone to remind you to put it into the dryer. It's okay to make the mistake once, but don't keep washing the same load. That's crazy. And often when I'm starting that priority load of whatever needed to be washed right away, I will also gather up all of the dirty laundry from around the house and make sure it's in the hamper. Maybe take a laundry basket to the laundry room so that I'm ready to start another load when I do that switch from the washer into the dryer. So I want you to take a couple minutes to get your dirty laundry sorted out, whether that means just getting it into the hamper or actually having the next basket ready for the next load you'll be doing. Okay. Make sure you walk into every room of your house and gather up that dirty laundry. Because when you're overwhelmed, chances are you have a lot of dirty laundry. You might have clothes or towels in a bathroom floor or a bedroom floor. Let's get it all together. You're going to feel less overwhelmed when it's ready to be washed. And that way you won't have to put a lot of thought into your next load. Something that I've been doing lately is kind of going back to that principle that if you accomplish one thing each day in addition to kind of those everyday tasks, you'll feel so much better. And I usually end up accomplishing more than one item, but let me give you some examples of what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, doing your dishes each day and preparing meals for your family. What I'm talking about are those to-do list items that are not everyday things. For example, I went shopping and purchased school supplies the other day. And this other one is not relatable for everyone, but my kids go to a school where I have to order their books. So I get a list of books that they need and I have to order those. And that was something I'd been procrastinating on, but it still has to happen a few weeks in advance of school starting because I don't want to have to pay extra to have the books rushed. So I think I got that done just in time. So that's something that's always on my July to-do list, and I'm happy to say I got that done. So I definitely recommend having a running to-do list of these out of the ordinary items, meaning things that you don't do kind of automatically or every day, and try to do at least one of them each day so that you can check something off of the list. And maybe you do well with a paper list, or maybe you have an app on your phone, or maybe you just put your to-do items in a notepad app of your phone and delete them as you go. Some people like the satisfaction of crossing things off or putting a check mark by them. Whatever works for you. But I encourage you to accomplish one extra thing each day, one procrastination task or just non-daily task, so that at the end of the day, when you kind of reflect back, you can feel satisfied knowing that you accomplished something on that to-do list. By now, you've gotten your laundry under control. The next thing I want you to do is get started on your dishes. Okay. This could be one of the machines you're going to get running. Perhaps you need to do an empty, reload, and run of your dishwasher. If not, just pre-rinse that first sink load and get some items soaking, and then straighten up your kitchen countertops while the water cools down a little bit and wash that first sink load. Some of you who are using the dishwasher still need to get a few items soaking. Those glasses with a ring in the bottom of them, that forgotten tumbler that you used for coffee and it's on your bedroom nightstand, you might need to put some hot water and dish soap in that and just let that soak. Same with maybe some dirty pots and pans. You might need to rinse them and then fill them up with hot soapy water and let those soak before you do your dishwasher reboot or you hand wash the first sink load of easy items. Okay? The key is getting the difficult items soaking and then washing the easy items. while you're doing whatever you need to do as far as dishes, I'm going to talk to those who have school-aged kids. The empty, reload, and run of the dishwasher is a pretty manageable task for the kids. Somebody wrote a comment, I think it was on either Spotify or YouTube, that they didn't like what I said about kids putting away stuff wrong because of that whole thing where kids might do a job wrong to avoid getting assigned that task in the future. And I definitely get what she was saying. I remember my mom making my brother's bed for him because whenever she'd ask him to make his bed, he'd say he didn't know how. And he was super young at the time. I don't even know how young, so it was probably reasonable that maybe he didn't know how to make his bed yet. I mean, for all I know, he could have been 3 or 4. I don't remember. And I remember my brother telling me, I just tell mom I don't know how to make the bed so I won't have to do it. And then I was super irritated. I went to my mom and basically tattled and was like, he told me he just says that so he doesn't have to make his bed. And my mom was like, he's just saying that to save face. He really can't make the bed. Anyway, and I did not agree with her. I did not believe her. But I stopped having the kids do dishes for a while. And by kids, I'm talking about my 13-year-old and 16-year-old. But I've recently been delegating the empty, reload, and run of the dishwasher. It gives me such a head start on cleaning the kitchen. And then I just go in there and wash the difficult items. And they don't mind because I tell them, you can leave the big pots and pans, but I want you to wash all of the small stuff. I want you to get all the small stuff into the dishwasher. And I narrowed it down on who was putting things away wrong. And I advised that person on where stuff goes and corrected that issue. So I do plan to bring back the empty, reload, and run as something that goes on the kids' chore lists. Not every day, but on days when I know they're going to have time to do it. Hopefully you're plugging away on those dishes, and whether you're hand washing or they went into the dishwasher, getting your dishes done is so crucial in crawling out of the hole when you're feeling overwhelmed. It's such a springboard task, and if you don't, especially if you don't like doing dishes, because you kind of know that that's more important than a lot of the other household tasks. And that can kind of paralyze you if you don't feel like doing it. So once you get past that and you get those done, you might enjoy the other aspects of cleaning up your house. You'll build momentum, and before you know it, your house is going to be under control. But I will say that my kids do not really mind doing an empty, reload, and run, but they really balk about hand washing dishes. And don't get me wrong, of course kids have to do things in life that they don't feel like doing. They have to brush their teeth, they have to do their homework. But I don't particularly love assigning them tasks that they're going to do super slowly or put off doing if maybe I'm out of the house or whatever. And I found that with both of my teenagers, when I ask them to do a empty reload and run, they do it quickly. And it definitely builds momentum to where my husband or I can go into the kitchen and just finish cleaning it. And in case you're new to the show, I make sure that my kids are trained in every aspect of housework. So yes, they know how to clean a kitchen, start to finish, the whole job. I'm just talking about what I have them do as their chore on a regular basis is usually something that they will do quickly and efficiently. But there are always going to be times where I'm going to call them, hey, I want the kitchen completely clean by the time I get home, things like that. But here's an important point I want to make. I've said this in some older episodes, but I haven't talked about it in a long time. You can only expect what you inspect. So even though sometimes you're going to be walking out the door, if you have teenagers, you're going to be walking out the door and just telling them to do some things and hoping it gets done right. You've got to take the time in most cases to go behind them and make sure they did it right. And if they miss something, let them know, like, and be positive about it. Hey, thanks for doing this, but I still need you to sweep the area around the litter box. Or an example, recently I had my son clean the living room, and then I looked behind the side table and I could see some items on the floor behind it. And I'm like, you need to get this stuff too. And obviously, him putting away those few items didn't take long, but it's my job to teach him to be thorough so that next time he's asked to clean the living room, he'll know that it includes grabbing any items that fell behind the table. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm not going to go on and on about this because some of you do not have school-age kids and it's not relatable to you. Hopefully you got your dishes done. If not, hopefully you're almost done and you've got some items soaking. Before you wipe down your countertops and, go deeper with your kitchen cleaning, I want you to do a 5-minute pickup of your entire house. And you might be thinking, my house is a disaster. 5 minutes isn't long enough. You would be amazed how much you can get done during a 5-minute pickup. A lot of times when we have items on the floor, on the couch, on the bed, just usually on the floor is when we're feeling really overwhelmed. We tell ourselves that it's going to be harder or take longer than it really is. Nobody loves the tedious job of just picking things up, bending over, picking things up. But trust me, if you just jump in and you do it for 5 minutes, your house is going to look so much better. Start at the front door and start picking up. And maybe your entryway or your front room is perpetually tidy. I definitely try to keep things that way. I like my first impression area to look good if somebody comes by or somebody in my household comes home. I like my entryway and front room to feel welcoming. But since we only have one living area, sometimes the living room does get cluttered. And sometimes people do plop something heavy into the entryway, like bottled water or whatever. Our cases of bottled water are supposed to go in the pantry floor, but often they don't make it that far. So that's something that I move when I'm cleaning. And of course, you're going to want to pick up your kitchen floor too, not just the living areas. Okay? Sometimes things get left in the kitchen, or maybe there's a kitchen table and people kick off their shoes under the table. Or maybe a kid dropped something in the kitchen, or maybe you have small children that dropped a lot of things in your living room and kitchen. Maybe there's clutter in the hallway or things at the bottom of the stairs that need to be brought upstairs. And sometimes when we're doing these whole house pickups, we don't think about the bathroom, but check your bathroom. Is there a towel that fell off the towel bar or that someone dropped on the floor? Did someone leave their shoes in the bathroom when they went to take a shower? Obviously, we have a rule that after you take a shower, you take your shoes and your dirty clothes to your room, but people forget. Or maybe it's your spouse that's doing this, or maybe it's you. Okay. Sometimes there's a tendency in the master bathroom to kind of make yourself at home. I mean, it is your home and, leave things on the floor. But my solution for that is I have a hamper that is right by my bathroom. Okay. In my bedroom, you turn a little corner to where my dresser is, and there's a hamper right there. So when we get undressed in the bathroom, we put the stuff into that hamper. You've got to make it easy on people and put a hamper either in the bathroom or next to the bathroom. But the reason my kids are supposed to take their dirty clothes to their room is my system with teenagers is that they wash their own clothes. So they have their own dirty laundry basket or hamper in their room. And that's where they put the items, because if they just put things in the laundry room in that community hamper, it's going to be more complicated when we fold and put away the clothes. I don't want Mount Foldmore to include items from everyone in the house. So the system is people have their own dirty laundry in their own personal hamper until they take it to the laundry room and wash it. Then the community hamper typically has things like towels and whatnot. But make sure that you are straightening the bathrooms during this whole house pickup. We got about 1 minute left. Usually during a whole house pickup, the last room I go into is my bedroom. And if the bedroom's in decent condition, instead of picking it up, I'll quickly make the bed if I haven't already done so. It takes like 60 seconds and it's such a springboard task. It's going to make your room look so much more welcoming, and it's going to help you to feel less overwhelmed, and that's what we're trying to do here. So in a nutshell, when you're feeling overwhelmed, you want to get your machines running. You want to tidy up your house starting at the front entrance. You want to get your dishes done, or at least most of them. Okay. And then once you finish the whole house pickup, maybe go in and do some sanitizing, like wiping down your kitchen counter, cleaning out your sink, cleaning the stove top. And there might be some bonus tasks that you need to do, cleaning the smudges off your stainless steel refrigerator, if that kind of triggers you. A lot of light shines into our kitchen. My husband absolutely does not like seeing fingerprints on the refrigerator, and he usually assumes our youngest son did it, but it's probably all of us making those fingerprints. So maybe you need to do something like that. Maybe you need to get a disinfecting wipe or paper towel and spray disinfectant and sanitize the toilet seat, flusher handle, obviously with a separate wipe or paper towel. Give the bathroom sink a swipe. I'm just talking about a bathroom touch-up, not a deep clean. But your toilet bowl might be looking bad. Give that a swish. Hopefully you keep a toilet brush in the bathroom next to each toilet. Because when you're overwhelmed, you want to at least keep your bathroom touched up until you have time to do a deeper clean. By the way, after this episode, I'm assuming that you're going to vacuum your entrance, front room, kitchen, and maybe your bedroom, whichever rooms are a priority for you right now. You're going to vacuum those rooms or sweep and mop, whatever your system is. But another key tip for when you're feeling overwhelmed is just start getting rid of stuff. Once your machines are running, your house is generally picked up, and you've done the finishing touch of straightening your couch cushions and vacuuming, it might be time to just mercilessly start throwing away clutter. You might have too much stuff. Hopefully you have what I call a donation station, a box or a bag in the back of a closet for things that you really don't want to throw away because they're perfectly good, but you also want them out of your house and you're not going to miss them. But sometimes it's okay to throw away things that could otherwise be recycled or donated just to get out of the hole. Once you're not feeling this overwhelmed, you'll have time to sort through things. But sometimes it's okay to just throw some stuff away. Don't come at me in the comments. I definitely donate things. And if you have a permanent donate bag or box somewhere, that makes it easier to just start throwing things away and then put those reusable items in that other spot. But I'm also not going to say that I never throw away perfectly good stuff. And a lot of the stuff that's overwhelming you might be trash. Broken toys, damaged clothing. Some days I measure my success in black trash bags. Not all the time. It's not, because I kind of follow a one in, one out rule. Meaning, if I get a new pair of shoes, I throw away an older pair. If I get a new skillet, I throw away that old scratched up skillet. I am trying to switch to more stainless steel as far as pots and pans. I guess I'll talk about that more in another episode. But decluttering is a lifestyle for me. It's an ongoing process. But the question someone asked was what to do when they're feeling overwhelmed. And from time to time, I will just throw away a bunch of stuff. And there's something therapeutic about it, because even though the floor of my house is already picked up, there's something therapeutic about opening that catch-all closet and getting rid of half the contents. I hope you got a lot done during this episode. Special thanks to my financial supporters who unlock bonus episodes by supporting the show financially. There are a number of ways to do this. You can do it through Apple Podcasts. Right now, you can still do it through Spreaker. You can, of course, do it through Patreon. And I also accept one-time donations through Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, or Zelle. The next bonus episode is going to be a whole house reboot. So now's a great time to subscribe to those bonus episodes. And I'll put all the information in the episode notes, or if you don't know how to find that, just simply visit cleanwithmepodcast.com and you'll find the instructions and information about subscribing to bonus content. Thank you so much for listening. I hope I got you started on some housework. And as always, happy cleaning. I'll talk to you in the next episode.